About 4 months ago, I installed this Eufy Security Floodlight Cam 2 Pro, and in this video, I'm going to go over the installation. I'm going to go over how well this has held up over the 4 months period of time, and my overall thoughts and how well this works. I was impressed by how well packaged this came. It is in a really nice box. I believe this is made by Anchor, which I know as a company that makes chargers for cell phones. So apparently they're branching out. I've always really liked the brand, and I've been really impressed with this security camera. I will point out that this camera was sent to me for free so that I could do this review. Really, the first thing I noticed about this camera is it is pretty big and bulky. It's a heavy duty camera. For the installation, I decided to install on my front porch. I replaced an existing light that was there. The security camera comes with a strap, so you can kind of strap it onto the wall. That makes the installation a lot easier. This is kind of a nice touch. I don't know if this is a common thing, but I was impressed that Eufy thought to make this a part of the design. Installing the wires was really easy. There are just 3 wires and they've got some wire nuts that you can twist together. Initially, I tried to make this work with my existing hardware, but the wall mount was just too shallow, so I couldn't fit the wires inside. I eventually had to install new hardware and new wall mount. The wires fit in very easily, so now everything looks really nice and snug. I will say that taking off the stickers on the lights was kind of annoying. The stickers didn't want to come off all that well, but the lights themselves work well, and it's easy to adjust the angle, and they're very secure after you tighten them. Overall, the camera looks really nice when it's installed. I like the camera. Again, it is big and bulky, but really that's not a bad thing in a security camera. You want people to see that it's there. You want people to know that they are on camera. At least I think you do. I didn't have any problems with the app installation. It was really easy to set up. You just create an account and then you scan the barcode that is on the camera. It will sync up the camera. I had no issues at all with that. It has simple instructions to follow on the app. Once you're done pairing the camera to the app, you can give it a name. And as soon as I did this, it immediately found an update for the camera. That's a good sign. It means that they are actively doing updates. And I've noticed that I've gone through a handful of updates with this camera in the time that I've had it. That's a good sign. The app is really straightforward. You can view a live feed and you can pan, tilt, zoom. You can just point the camera wherever you want it to. It does have two-way audio, so you can talk into the camera and you can hear audio from the camera. Honestly, I never really use this feature because usually either me or my wife are at home, but it's definitely a nice feature to have. I like that the camera has audio. A lot of times my boys will go outside and they'll just talk and play, and it's kind of fun just to listen to them and the crazy things that they say.
Which we need a lot, just 3 packages. There's 3 packages, so we need food. Yeah, this one is sure heavy. Kai, can you get the last package?
The camera also has an alarm. I tried it out one time and it's definitely super loud and annoying. I've got this turned off on my camera because this isn't really a feature I want for my front yard. But if you had the camera set up in an area where people weren't supposed to be, or maybe where people aren't supposed to be at a certain time, you can set the alarm so it will only go off if it's triggered during certain times. That's kind of nice. So if you had a back entrance, you could set an alarm for that if people were entering when they are not supposed to. With this camera, you can set activity zones and preset positions. This is nice for me. So say I want to have a preset position to look down at the ground to see if packages are there. So I could open the app and just push a button and it would move to that preset position. The activity zones are for where you want to detect motion. I have my camera pointing to the street and there's a lot of cars that come by. I don't care if cars come by, so I don't have that as part of the activity zone. I only want to see if people are walking up my sidewalk or to the door, and so it can do exactly that. This camera also has an Rtsp stream, which is really nice if you want to set up your own kind of robust surveillance system. To test this out, I installed Motion Eye and I use the stream on that. This isn't something that I do a lot, but if you wanted to do a system like this, you could do recording 24/7 of everything that happens with the camera. It's really nice that this camera has the Rtsp stream. I know a lot of cameras do not. The floodlight I think is really bright. As I mentioned before, I use this to replace my porch light. I have the light at 50%, which is super bright still. It's brighter than any light I had on there before. So it's nice that you can adjust the brightness. It's also nice that you can adjust the color temperature to warm or cool. As far as the actual video quality goes, I will show you here some sample footage. Honestly, I think the quality is pretty good. I don't think it's great. You're not going to get a lot of super fine details, but the quality is good enough that you can definitely tell what's going on and you can make out people's faces. I really like this. On the phone app, when you have events, it has a little thumbnail of the person's face. That's a handy feature, so you can look at who's coming to the door before even looking at the video. At the same time I installed this security camera, I also installed a Ring doorbell. And so I kind of want to point out a few things that I've noticed between the two. The first thing is with my Ring doorbell, I got like a month free of Pro or whatever. But after that, I can no longer view events on my Ring camera unless I want to pay for a monthly subscription. So right now the Ring doorbell is only useful as a doorbell and viewing a live feed of who is there. With this eufy security camera, storage is built in. So I don't have to worry about a cloud subscription or a monthly subscription or anything like that. I've had this for 4 months and I can view almost all the way back to when I got this camera. I can go back 4 months and view all of the events from that time. I'm really impressed by that. I like the fact I don't have to pay a monthly subscription. The other comparison I want to make with the Ring camera is both the eufy security camera and the Ring doorbell camera. You can kind of set activity zones. You can set zones for where you want to ignore. So I've on both cameras ignored the street so that I don't see cars coming by, and I have them set to only detect people who are coming to the door. With the Ring doorbell, I get notifications all the time. There are neighbors' cats who will walk in front of the doorbell and I'll get a notification for movement, or tree branches sometimes blow, or sometimes I'll look at it and I don't know why I got a notification because I don't see anything there. With the eufy security camera, I only get notifications if someone is coming to the door or is at the door. That's exactly what I want. This seems to do a much better job than the Ring doorbell that I have. So I kind of use these in conjunction. The Ring doorbell is great. I hear a chime when someone rings the doorbell. But if I want a reliable notification for when someone is walking to the door or at the door, I will use the eufy security camera for that. I want to talk about a couple issues I had with this. The first issue, and I think this is kind of a pretty major issue, is that for about the first couple months that I had this, when I would get a notification on my phone, I would press the notification to view the event, and when I would press play to see the most recent event, it would just be a black screen. It wouldn't show the event. I would either have to download it or something like that to view it. That was kind of annoying because that's probably the most common thing you would want to see is who was the last person to go to your door. I haven't seen that issue for at least the past month. It looks like this has been fixed. So now when I get a notification, I can just press on the event. I can view what happened. That's nice. The live feed has always worked, no problems. Anytime I get a notification, I can just view the live feed and know who is there at the door. The other issue I've had with this is with the Amazon Echo Show. I have one of those and I paired it no problem, but when I try to view the camera feed, I've just never got it to work and never got it to show up. It's kind of a bummer. Honestly, I would hardly ever use that, but if that is something you want to use that for, that's something to be aware of. I think the two things I like most about this camera is, for one, the built-in storage. It's really nice. I can go back 4 months, and I like the reliability of this camera. I set it up once 4 months ago, haven't touched the app, haven't touched the camera. Everything's working exactly how I want it to be. I get the notifications exactly when I want them. It has been really nice for that. That's all I have for you today. I'm curious what features you think are most important in a security camera. Go ahead and write that in the comment section below. I've been really happy with this one, but I'm sure it's probably missing a few things. I'd be curious what you think is most important.